and welcome to Dungeons and Magi. This is our talk show, Behind the Curtain. In this show, we discuss the behind the scenes of Dungeons and Magi, characters, sessions, things that have gone on through the past month, because it's usually about a month in between our shows. And we ask each other questions for the characters, the DMs, the players. You guys can ask us questions. We kind of break out of that. We break out of the narrative and sticking to role playing, and we pay attention to the chat and we discuss some stuff. So, Ben.
Yes.
I believe you have a icebreaker question for everybody.
I'm going to ask two.
Okay.
We're going to go right down the list. We're going to start with Atheon. Or Pam.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, she's giving me death first. So, Pam. If that's your name. I'm going to pay for that later.
Yeah, you are. I'm gonna kick your ass.
First question. Your dream job.
Honestly, working for the CDC or what's the place? Can't think of the base. Working with,
Or Dietrich.
Fort Detrick, working with infectious diseases and finding cures.
Okay.
Second, if you could live with any fantasy D&D style race, what would it be?
Oh, that's hard. Alright, I'm gonna go with Star Spawn, just because it's space and I love space. And it would be far away from you.
Yeah, no low kappa.
Roasted.
You deserve that one so much. You know that. Now I won't get you back for what you said earlier.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I will. I have to keep him on his toes every once in a while.
Alright, well, I guess I'm next. My dream job, it isn't so much what, it's where I want to work. I have always wanted to work in Antarctica.
What the fuck?
I
You
know,
hate the cold as much as I hate the cold.
but there is always something so cool
Pam,
about working on a unknown continent.
Pam, his sergeant's gonna see this and go, huh, good to know.
Yeah.
No, Sarge, don't listen.
Pam's like, nope, I'm moving to Kentucky before that.
Nope, I will divorce his ass before I move to Antarctica. Fuck that
That's the
shit.
other thing, you can't live there. You only work for 6 months.
I'm still not fucking going. I can barely.
It's my dream.
Yeah.
Antarctica, the family doesn't move there.
Yeah, I can
don't.
barely handle the fucking
Because-
buffalo cold.
They don't have like the room and board for family in Antarctica,
don't.
and you're not there long enough.
Plus, you go insane if you
Alaska, yes. Alaska, yes. Antarctica, no.
Yeah, we're not moving to Alaska either. Visit, yes.
Hey,
Move, no.
You get paid to live in Alaska.
That is true.
Only if
You
you're a
do.
resident, though, like a permanent resident.
6 months. 6 months. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not moving to Alaska. I don't care how good they pay you
No,
to live there. Fuck
We'll go visit
that.
Alaska.
Yeah, we will visit.
Anyway.
First live show, Alaska. Let's do it.
Oh, God, no.
No, I vetoed that one because fuck the cold. No,
Let's just go to the Bahamas.
I'm anemic.
But yeah, I've always just wanted to work in Antarctica. It just seems like a interesting experience. I don't know. I wouldn't care what I did. I mean, I'll sweep the floor as long as I can say a winter over in Antarctica, just to say that I did it.
He'll clean the toilets.
I don't want to do that.
Chrome duty.
You have to unfreeze the toilet water.
For the fantasy race, I'd like to live amongst. I'd actually like to live amongst the elves. Like, I mean Tolkien elves.
Okay. I was.
Which one? Are you thinking
At
like?
least-
Are you
at
like
least he didn't say
Elrond?
Locatha.
Are you like Gladriel? Or are you like Legolas?
Legolas.
Yeah, it would be the
Legolas.
Mirkwood elves. They seem the most badass. They actually do stuff.
But you're.
I mean,
See,
come
I'm
on,
surprised you didn't say Locatha.
Listen. Legolas walked on water. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You step on stones.
Like-
Yeah, he's elf Jesus.
He's still a badass.
So he really loves sharks, so I'm surprised he didn't say Locatha just so that he
Or-
could be
Yeah, but I'm
up close and
because
personal with
myself.
shark.
I can't
Or-
breathe in the
Orlando.
water.
Orlando Bloom has been living in Kentucky for the last 6 months, so he's been very close. He's shooting a movie here, and he and Katy Perry moved to Kentucky for a little bit. They're in Louisville right now.
I can't breathe in space, but I still said star spawn.
Hey, listen, it's fantasy, Ben.
True.
You could have the Jedi rebreather.
I still want to be one of the elves of Mirkwood. Okay, Bakira, same questions.
Dream job? That's actually kind of a interesting question for me, because there's a couple of them that I would like to do. One of them is getting in a field with biochemistry. Working again for cures for like cancer and such. But that's like kind of the far off dream job, but something that's a little bit more obtainable. Nursing.
Oh,
Going into nursing. I grew up with a lot of nurses around me, so I got a lot of the good, bad, and the ugly stories.
You live in a
growing
good
up.
state to be. You live in a good state to be a nurse.
Yeah, I've had those stories too. My dad was a paramedic, and my mom is a registered nurse.
George is a very good place to be a nurse. My mom's a nurse in Florida,
Yep,
so
My aunt was the nurse in my family, so
my mother is an oncology nurse. I don't know how she fucking does it, but
That's
she does.
hard.
She's been an oncology nurse
Damn.
for 5 years now, I think. And
I
she has seen some.
that woman now.
She has taken care of some of her own friends, and has watched some of her own friends die. So I don't know how she does it, but
That is.
she says my daughter's the only thing that keeps her sane.
Aww. That's sweet.
Okay.
But
Alright.
as
What
for
race, Jeannie?
Oh yeah.
as for the race, that's even harder because there's like so many of them that I was like, can I just yeet out of existence and just, be one?
Sure. Go for it.
Honestly, it's one of those things of I'd probably be a cat-like creature,
Tabaxi.
and there's not necessarily tabaxi,
Cathar?
huh?
Cathars.
Yeah.
Cathars.
Khajiit.
You know exactly why.
Khajiit. There's Khajiit. Actually, I really do like the lore of ESO, so it'd probably be Khajiit.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd probably be Khajiit. There's also the Char, though I'd have to pick with the Omicron instead of the Legions because yeah,
Guild Wars 2 stuff.
yeah, Guild Wars 2 stuff. But it'd definitely have to be a cat like creature.
Caleb, you're up.
All right. So, dream job. To be honest, doing this full time is definitely my dream job. I think right now that's kind of whether that's everybody's main dream. That is kind of a dream of the group as a whole, is to be able to do this full time and spend time with you guys full time. And that's what we're working towards. So that's definitely an attainable dream. But I'm also getting ready to go back to school for, as a history major, focusing on medieval and European studies with minors in anthropology and archaeology. So I am a Norse pagan. I would love to go study the Viking cultures. That is my heritage. I want to go see what I can dig up. As for the race, there's a couple. Rakshasa.
Who are they?
You guys will find out eventually.
I know what a rock shot is, and I'm not going to say anything, but I'm kind of. It doesn't surprise me that you picked them, but like, I'm kind of like, out of all the races you could have picked, I'm like, I could see it, but I'm also kind of shocked that you picked them. I guess I know what they are.
I think a Rakshasa will probably make its way into campaign 1. Definitely into campaign 2. For people watching that aren't quite sure what a Rakshasa is, if you guys have watched Critical Role campaign 1, that is the person that stabbed Vax'Ul'dan, Liam's character. So I'll leave it at that. If you guys want to Google that scene, it's an amazing scene from Critical Role. But Rakshasas, and I would say probably I've always had a thing for dwarves. Growing up, I played World of Warcraft a lot growing up. And my first character ever was a dwarf warrior named Kalira. And I've always been drawn to dwarves. They are fucking going into Lord of the Rings. You think about Gimli, doesn't give a shit. They're drunk most of the time.
Also, the actor who played Gimli didn't give a crap either.
He still doesn't give a shit. He has weird meet and greets. But yeah, so probably those two, Rakshasa, check them out. They're awesome. They are definitely a race that holds their own. They're something very special in D&D.
Okay. Chris.
I have to say it's something to do with the ocean, marine biologist, something like that. I love the ocean. Favorite race? I play plenty now.
Yeah, you have.
Not by choice.
Still miss Rowan, buddy. I still
just in
miss
this
Rowan.
campaign.
Yeah.
It'll also be a toss-up between the Dragonborns and the Elves.
Okay.
Okay.
Cora.
Dream job is there's two that
I bet you I can guess. One is a vet assistant.
Working in the vet field is one. I'm striving hard to get into that field.
You've done a good
the second
job,
one, the second one would be a writer. Like if I can get my works published, that I have. The only problem is I can't make up my mind which way I want to go.
We're just gonna with that in there. We're just gonna throw out there that at some point there is going to be probably a book for campaign 1 of Dungeons and Magi coming out.
So, with that, so those two, like I love working with animals, but like I also love writing just because it allows me to, and I talked a little bit with Chris earlier, but it allows me to like kind of escape the problems and be another character, which is why I love like the Narnia series, the Aragon series, the Lord of the Rings series, because like for a while you get to like look at every others, and so I want to give that to other people, I guess.
And guys, we're getting a new Aragon series.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
it's all
And
bad.
Christopher Poloni.
Wait, what?
Christopher Poloni is working on.
They just announced we're getting a new Aragon series.
It's on Disney Plus, and Christopher
Disney Plus.
Poloni. And Christopher Poloni, the author, is coming on as a producer, so he's gonna like oversee the show, which is, I think, is a smart decision.
Yes.
Then a race. This is gonna shock. I think this is gonna shock everybody. Maybe Caleb would be the only one that knows. It's two. One is tieflings. I always kind of have a really soft spot for tieflings. Two of my favorite characters in Critical Role history, even though Caleb will fight with me on one of them, is Molly. I love how Molly just looks at people and doesn't really give a crap. Like he just is like, oh, yeah, I know. But I love Jester.
Jester's the
I
best.
love Jester.
Jester's
And
the
then
best.
the second race is actually, I'd have to agree with Chris on one of them is Dragonborns. I love dragons. I was actually planning on being a Dragonborn, but then I saw there was like 8 people being a Dragonborn. I was like, maybe I'll just wait.
Well,
Dragonborn party.
Speaking of soft spots and tieflings, Pam actually killed a tiefling with a soft spot.
Yeah.
I don't care if we get demonetized at this point. Fuck you.
Found their wrists of all things and say, let's do this as an offering. Stab.
I didn't know. And
Shot through the heart and you're too
okay, and nobody told me not to do it. You all knew my character was young.
Also,
So
I
she
would
did,
have said
which is
nothing.
stupid.
Well, Sappy was young too, but that
I also
kind of
wasn't
ended.
there, so I probably would have been more egging you on. But anyway, that's my answers.
Okay. Man.
Dream job would be 2-part. I already did the one, and that was law enforcement. The current goal for my second dream job would be able to do Raven's Nest and make dice full time. And of course do this. So they kind of go hand in hand. Races is a tie between the elves and Dragonborn.
So why didn't we make a Dragonborn party, guys?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
God.
I
Definitely would have killed most of you off.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should do that for campaign 3.
I like
God.
Dragonborns, but a whole party of Dragonborns is too much.
We totally do a one-shot or something and just not tell Caleb or Ethan and just make a whole party of
We
Dragonborns.
make a whole party of Yuan-Tis.
No!
I really wanted to make
No!
but I didn't.
That would rock.
I didn't forget.
Caleb, you're an ass. You know why I don't like the Yuan-Tis.
Oh, maybe I should add a third race. I wanted to.
But
No!
snake people.
I
No.
love you.
Alright.
Only reason I
Willow.
didn't make one.
Yeah, Willow. Okay, let's finish off with you.
Okay. My dream jobs, of course, to partially be this. And then I'd also love to be able to be a singer and an artist for a living. When it comes to races, I'm really like tied up which one I'd like. I really love the Dalish elves from Dragon Age. I think that even though, you know, we find out that they're not completely correct, it's honorable to want to hold on to your heritage that was lost the way that was. The only other thing that I can think of, besides Dalish elves and Dragon Age, in D&D lore, I would probably maybe like changelings or Tenku, because it'd be really interesting to figure out how changelings interact with each other and how Tenku interact with each other. You know what I mean? I feel like it could be like very special.
If you guys have not seen a Kenku, they are bird-like creatures. They are great.
Yeah, I almost that was my second idea.
If you like Critical Role, Kiri from Critical Role. Great. I mean, Elliot also had a dream of being a tiefling, but that was kind of dead in the water.
Yeah, I might bring a tiefling back.
Pam will kill it again.
No, I won't. That was. I'm never gonna live down leaving, killing off Safi. Technically, I didn't kill Lau because I didn't kill Lau. Caleb killed Lau. You told me what to cast and who to cast on, so that was your fault.
So.
Yeah, but you cast it.
So.
I wasn't in control of myself.
Well, roll higher.
Triple Dub asked us our question. We're gonna go with this. I'll answer it and then I'll go down. Whoever wants to answer, just raise your hand and we'll go for it, so we're not talking over each other. If there's any particular item, weapon, etc., that your character longs to find, what is it? I will say there's one thing I want to do, and I told the party this, but I haven't aired it out there yet. So Belvis, you guys have been watching, Belvis has birthed a gelatinous cube.
His name is Blubber.
I plan on giving Belvis a whistle that Belvis can call the cube, and everybody can get in it and ride inside of the cube to their destination. And we're going to call it Cuber.
No, you are not riding
it can also deliver us food, and we're going to call it Cuber Eats. So that's something. Pam.
So something that Atheon longs to find. It's not a weapon or anything. It's actually the truth about themselves.
Oh, I don't need to write that down.
No, you don't.
I have my hand raised, so I'll answer whenever.
Okay.
But I don't have my camera on, so.
Okay. Van.
For Van, I base my character a lot around backs. So, excuse me, hang on.
Eddie.
Yeah, he gets jealous when he can't be on camera. I'd like to find the boots, to be able to fly on occasion and kind of sneak in from a different angle.
Okay. Ethan.
It's not a weapon. It's an item that I currently have in my possession. The moon card. That is what I most want, but I can never seem to draw it because I don't
keep drawing the void card.
But because I keep on the void card because Charlie's not sitting on my lap when I draw from the deck of many things.
Is Charlie sitting on your lap now?
No, he's playing with this giant 2-foot-tall elephant named Humphrey.
How many cards?
Since Charlie's 7 months, we're gonna go with 7.
God, I can't believe he's 7 months old already.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter if I draw the moon card after I draw the void, because once the void card's
There's
drawn...
the sun.
Oh.
I mean, I like the sun, but...
Rogue.
Okay, that one's good.
Void.
Oh, there goes the deck. There goes the deck. Poof.
Flames. Idiots.
I mean...
Comet.
This is all describing
balance. No moon
I
card.
wouldn't have got.
And it wouldn't have mattered anyways because you drew the void. That's
So-
funny.
But yeah, that's the one thing I want from the deck
Okay.
more than anything is the moon.
Okay. Anybody else? That's just because you don't have the wish spell, so you want it.
I mean, I
The
can't
moon,
get
the
it. if I
moon
want.
grants 1d4 wishes.
Awesome.
So the moon is a very powerful card.
Nice.
All right. What would be your character's theme song / favorite band / favorite genre of music?
Oh, jeez.
You know, I know Belvis's. You remember that episode of SpongeBob where he did the rock underwater?
Yes.
I never watched.
I hate SpongeBob.
How dare you?
I think with
I don't
Atheon,
know.
their favorite genre would probably be metal, just because of how moody they are.
Same with Bakira.
Yeah, Atheon and Bakira would totally.
Granted, it's also one of the genres IRL listen
Actually,
to.
Yeah,
I
same
know
here.
what Belvis's favorite band would be.
Oh,
Yeah,
you better be tread carefully.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
I don't
First of all,
know.
Have you ever heard of Ailsworn?
I don't know who that is.
Hootie and the
Not
Blowfish.
Ailsworn.
You
What the
don't know
hell,
who Hootie and the
Ethan?
Blowfish are?
No.
I don't know who that is either.
Okay, so guys,
Sorry,
let me give you a
So
recap.
the lead singer
Let
of
me give you
Hootie and the Blowfish
That'd be
is
mine.
currently a country singer now.
I will.
Oh, I don't listen to country.
Darius Rucker.
Okay,
he's
I
part of
lived
Hootie and the
inside.
Blowfish, they were great.
I lived a very sheltered life.
Obviously, here.
I
I'm going to
I mean, I
Google
didn't know
it.
who Pink Floyd was until like 3 years ago.
So I would say for Maresh, he definitely would be like a Theory of a Dead Man, System of a Down, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's good shit.
Like Theory of a Dead Man is like my tattoo music. That's when I get tattoos. That's what I listen to. I have a whole tattoo playlist.
I would say for Belvis's music, it would be rock, but like 80s rock, like that big, like pump up stuff because he's trying to get the crowd going. Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. I feel like Willow would probably listen to either exclusively like carnival music or hyper pop. Mixed with heavy metal. Like it would go from hyper pop to heavy metal, to clown music to heavy metal, to hyper pop, Lady Gaga,
So,
heavy metal.
I think with Belvis though, especially considering what just happened and him wanting 80s music, his band would probably be The Cure.
For Argos, it's weird. Like since Argos was military, we probably listened to like metal, like Skillet or Demon Hunter would probably be the top two. But for Korth, he's kind of all over the place, so it'd probably be like pop. Like honestly, like different kinds of pop. He'd probably be all over the place.
Dirty Pop.
Don't you picture him?
In
Don't you picture him? Yeah.
Picturing him jamming out to J-pop now.
I
Yeah.
K-pop.
That's funny.
Everybody.
Okay, so I'll come back to that one, Triple Dub. What do we think about just the latest reveals in whole? Because the last few sessions, there's been some major reveals. There's been the Chromatic Dragon Korth. There have been Dorian popping back in. There has been there was, let's see,
Daff.
Atheon killing Daff. There was Charlie witnessing it.
The fact that Faraway's alive.
That. So what are your thoughts on the latest reveals?
I still want to find out how the Chromatic Dragon plays into Atheon's dream.
Yeah.
But I already knew about the DAF thing because you and I worked on it together, so.
I think from my character's point of view, I think he's seen his moment is coming. No. Like I said, Belvis wants to be the hero. So Belvis, no, since we're having to go up a Titan, what's the big move going to be? Does he, kill this thing at the cost of his own life? What does he do? How does he be the big damn hero?
I know Bakira's going through some shit. I know Bakira's going through some shit, especially with that trial.
I can tell you this much.
Like,
if Belvis survives, he will not be going to law school.
No, God, no.
No. But Charlie will.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I would say for Van, he's kind of keeping an eye on the group and feeling things out. So he's trying to figure out the whole chromatic dragon thing, but his focus right now is on Dorian with his return, seeing how his task has turned from killing Bakira to more or less being her protector. So in his mind, he's playing the chess game with Dorian to try and figure out what his end game is.
That is so bad, thank you. Too much pride that he shouldn't.
Yeah.
He's just trying to figure out a balance in between himself, because he's trying to appease his goddess, but been so thrown out of the loop. His scales got changed to a different color, which he's not happy with. And then he wants to help them, but he also doesn't want to feel like he needs to be told to do all the things. He wants to be feel like he needs to be respected a little more than he can ask for.
Alright. Who has a question? Raise your hand if you have a question. For either one of the other characters, for myself, for the whole party, something like that. Which one of you has a question? Okay, Elliot.
My big question for you, actually, is what is the biggest thing that we have done that has completely thrown you off? I have a feeling I know what it is, but...
There's been quite a few. I will say So the way, and most of you know this, I was at the very beginning of the campaign. Like, our first few sessions were written out way beforehand. I had a good few months written, and then you guys fucked it all up by stealing a ship.
Yeah, I thought that maybe
that was the first real twist when you guys stole the ship. It was never planned. That's when I really had to go on the fly, and then now I write an outline. Now this trial is the most I've written in a long time because it was so in depth. I knew it was going to be a full RP session, so it was the most in depth, and I really did a lot of the stuff. I did not plan on Charlie coming in, so that was all off the cuff. Charlie seeing Atheon kill Daff was never planned. I never planned on Charlie being there, but I thought it would be a good thing to throw into it.
Yeah, that hurt.
The hag. The hag coming in.
The hag coming in, that was never planned. That was not planned at all. But the reason I brought the hag in was I did not want this RP session in the courtroom to feel mundane and repeated over and over and get boring with RP, and I knew the hag would shut everybody up.
Yeah.
But I will say that the stealing the ship is probably the biggest one.
Akira is now somehow captain of.
Yeah.
The breaded cheese.
That's probably the biggest one. I mean, every session you guys do something that I have to make up stuff off the top of my head. I actually have a list of right behind my computer of NPC names, just listed out by race, so that if something happens, I can just come up with it. Luckily, I didn't have to name Charlie. Y'all named Charlie. But yeah, so, and like the other guy that fled, I forgot what we named him, so I just made him change his name. So I gave him a new name, but yeah, the boat's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Chris?
Can be one of my questions I posted in
Sure.
Korth. What is Korth's true intentions? What are Korth's intentions? Because we're seeing him back about Fort Bliss as a Minotaur.
For that answer, I will say tune in Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
6 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, my thinking was I'm thinking Central, but even then we're still not. But long story short, so back, it's not that I don't want to answer your question, but I feel like if you stay tuned more, or not stay tuned, but like if you just keep watching, like obviously being in the sessions and stuff, I think more will be revealed.
Yes. So the thing we have rolling with Korth, it's supposed to be mysterious. The whole point of him changing to a shifter, him not knowing that the Haggis who trained him to be a sorcerer, that whole thing, like, it's all supposed to be mysterious. At some point it will be revealed, obviously Ethan knows, but it will be revealed that Korth was trained by the Hag at some point, and it's going to shock him. The Hag obviously knows.
One thing that kind of threw me for a loop, because me and Caleb did talk about it, was we weren't going to even reveal that I was a chromatic dragon until like much later. But then I think Caleb and I were kind of thinking, what's that?
Until Endgame. At the very end, it's going to be revealed.
But then I think both me and Caleb saw where like the whole void thing was going, and we were like, okay, it's either like I do this or something else, like, and I was like, let's do this, it'll be fine.
So,
but yes, not that I don't want to answer your question, Sobek, but
it's a good answer. It's a very good answer.
So, Pam,
what's up?
What are your thoughts of it being revealed that Korth is the chromatic dragon?
That threw me for a
loop. In your dreams.
That threw me for a loop. Like, I'm trying to connect how Korth is a chromatic dragon, but also like in their dreams. So it's one of those that it's throwing them for a complete loop.
Is it throwing you for a loop?
I know you and Ethan, so I'm just kind of like, okay, it's one of their spins. So it threw me for a loop, but I'm like, okay, whatever. With Atheon, it's really like, do I know them? Do I not know them?
I will say, there was one person who came really close to knowing the truth, but they conveniently, at that time, somebody sent them to go get lunch. And at that moment, a lot of big stuff was revealed conveniently at the same time.
Ben was
sent to go grab lunch.
So Ben was in a session that Korth and I were doing for the Adventures of Argaz. Yeah. He was in there. You sent him to go get lunch. As soon as he left, a lot of stuff was revealed that he would know now. He would know Korth's endgame.
You have only yourself to blame.
Honestly, I think it's better that we don't know his true endgame. Just for the fact.
There's a reason why Caleb hasn't dropped the episode yet.
Yes, there is. That episode has been recorded and it has been saved, and I probably will drop that episode when we release Patreon. But I will say there is something I have talked to each of you about privately that nobody else knows about. That has to do with endgame stuff.
Yeah. I'm like,
So,
we talk privately all the time. I can't remember the shit.
I forgot what ours was, so...
Yeah.
So, it will eventually be revealed, but there's a lot of stuff individually going on that a lot of strings that each of you are holding a string, and at the end, at the very last session, which I think we've revealed this already, but our very last session, our goal is to play in person. All together in person, bring everybody here to Kentucky and get everybody to play in person. And my goal is for all of those strings to connect finally in that in-person session so that you guys can see that reveal in real time and all of that. So there's a lot of stuff that I have lurking in the background. Triple Dub asks, what are your character's biggest flaws? Who would like to answer this?
Me.
Willow.
I will go. I will wait if somebody else wants to go first, but I will definitely answer this question.
I'll definitely answer.
I'll answer.
This question.
Willow, go ahead.
Okay, Willow's biggest flaw is how much she needs her freedom. Like she played it very, very, very nice. She gets very stressed when she's contained in any way, shape, or form. She doesn't realize it yet, but she's claustrophobic. Like she'll sleep in like a flower, or like she'll get herself into a little nook or cranny, but she needs to be able to get out, or she will have a full-blown panic attack. Her freedom is huge. Yeah, he's writing it down. I know.
Yeah.
She
just prepared for that.
She needs to know that she can get out of there. You know what I mean?
So this isn't just for our fans to know stuff. This is for me to have stuff to write, especially because Willow's trials are coming up soon.
Yeah, and she's honestly terrified about them.
I do not know whose trials are coming up next. I still have a week to figure it out, but I think it may be Belvis's are coming up next. I think I already know what I'm gonna do.
I'll go next.
We're gonna make sushi?
Let's have Ethan go.
Okay.
Korth's biggest problem is, besides drawing the void card from the deck of
Yeah.
that seems to be his biggest flaw. But honestly, I think Korth's biggest flaw is that he'll do anything to protect his family. And he's a huge protector of his family. And he'll do anything to make sure that they stay safe, no matter if it's at his own personal cost, I think.
Okay. Ben?
Hubris. Belvis is a fighter, obviously, but Belvis has had a long string of... He succeeded more than he's failed. So, the trial was actually a pretty good example of that. He thought, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you wrote it so that I probably didn't have a chance in hell. Even if I was just a Thurgood, arguing the case. But, all the same, though, he thought, I got this, and everyone's like, that's the thing. He's just gonna, what he says, he's gonna pick the wrong fight, and he's gonna get his ass kicked. And that fight against Zobels. Woo!
Fighting Zofo seems like a tight task.
Everybody roll D4 for damage.
Yeah, I'll go next.
Dad jokes.
Pam.
I think Atheon's biggest flaw is probably she doesn't let it on, but they're truly terrified, but doesn't trust the party enough to let them know what's really going on, to have them help them, for the fact that they don't even know what's going on with them. With the new subclass of Warlock, they're confused and they're like, what the hell is going on? So I think they're terrified and they don't trust people enough to let them in, that they're terrified. So they put a bitchy mask on.
Who else?
Look at your DM.
Van.
I would say Van's biggest flaw is his desire for a family and wanting that sense of belonging. You know, he grew up in the streets. He didn't have anybody other than Syl, and Syl brought him into the Ravens, and now the Ravens are gone. So he, you know, has been infiltrated into this group for, as was revealed earlier, the sole task of eliminating Bakira, but out of necessity found that an alliance was a better option. So he's wrestling kind of with that, in the sense that the Ravens are gone. He doesn't truly have a place now, but these guys are the closest thing he has to family. So there's that. I want to go all in and be trusting with everybody, but because of who I am and what I do, I can't be trusting of everybody. And so he's wrestling with that. And, you know, Sunday session when he stood up and told the judge, you know, if Bakira vamps out, I'll take her out. That was a hard thing for him to do, because he's, you know, driven and dedicated and committed to what he's been tasked to do. So when he gave her his word that instead of this being enemies, we'll be partners more or less, you know, and him taking her under his wing as a protector to turn around and recommit to taking her life if need be, that was a huge thing for him at that time.
Who else? Chris?
Obek's biggest flaw is his oath. His oath of devotion. Because he's so devoted to his goddess, and what people haven't yet, in character haven't discovered yet, is his oath to Rohan. And why he has stuck around. And that has Tyrion important. Because Rohan was his military leader. The last two, and now he's the solo one left from his squad.
Okay.
That's all out of character. You guys didn't know that. You guys don't talk to him, let us pass.
If your character wasn't an adventurer, what livelihood would they lead? Pam has no fucking idea.
No, honestly, if they weren't an adventurer, they would still be Lily at the temple that killed her parents, and not realizing that she needed to get to the Feywilds to find Daft to unlock her true nature, or the truth that the church killed her parents, or that they were the ones that kind of led Daft to the Feywilds, or Brevin, or who. We never really knew who led Daft to the Feywild. So they would still be a gnome cleric living a lie.
I know what Bellas would be.
I will say, if Sappy wasn't an adventurer, Willow wouldn't exist. She's a reincarnation, so if Sappy didn't die, Willow wouldn't have existed.
I mean, let's be honest.
You really are her mother.
Let's be honest. If Singe wasn't an adventurer, Sappy would still be alive.
Yeah, if Singe didn't. Well, with Singe's backstory, it was actually funny. She ran away from her teacher. So they didn't know that they disappeared. Her teacher didn't know that she disappeared because Singe was only like 15 or 16, so they weren't technically like a legal adult yet.
It's okay. That's okay because Sappy's parents have no idea she's dead. So
yeah, we kind of probably should go back to Talamar and explain to them.
I mean, at this point, it's like 3 or 4 years later. There's no point.
Yeah.
Figured it out by now.
Honestly, I think it might be kind of them not knowing that she's stuck in a fairy's body and only comes out when the fairy's in huge distress.
I mean, that would be an interesting play to have them see Willow and then Willow get into a huge distress and Sappy comes out and they're like, what the fuck?
I know what my character would be if he wasn't an adventurer.
Don't say lawyer.
No. No.
Gladiator.
No.
Give me someone's dinner.
Official.
He'd be a farmer.
A kelp farmer?
A kelp farmer.
No, so the backstory that with my character is that Belvis was born on a farm in his little area, whatever, Mocat Farm. His life was basically planned out, and he just didn't want that, so he just left home.
I mean, we all know now that Bakira grew up in the mercenary camps, so
Bakira has
she'd
no
be
idea.
Yeah.
She has no idea.
Willow has no idea either because everybody died, and she thought everybody died, and that's why she left, and that's how she found
Bakira should
Raven.
join AA.
Yeah, we need to find an AA meeting for Bakira.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, that's all right. Bakira Van's in the same boat because he grew up on the street and went, leaving and all that kind of stuff, and then right into the Ravens with Syl. So that's all he knows. To him, that is a normal life,
That's why Bakira doesn't really question the job she gets, because she was taught not to. She was taught
exactly.
You get the pay.
Yep. It's the task. This is what you've been given.
You do what you get paid for, and that's it.
Yep, 100%.
I think I know the answer to this. Everybody's favorite NPC.
Charlie.
Charlie and the Hag.
Caleb, I DM'd you. Yeah, Charlie and the Hag. I actually do kind of like the Hag, even though the Hag is very creepy and
I like the Hag.
pisses Atheon off.
For the creep factor, I love the Hag.
So, speaking of the creep factor of the Hag, we have one of our sponsors, Lunasola Stellae, is currently working on a drawing of the Hag.
Can I get a copy of that? Because the Hag is Atheon's patron.
When it is done, it is. I told her, I gave her the description. I said, make it as creepy as possible, because I want you guys to be able to put a face to the name you never asked.
I'm gonna ask the Hag what their name is, so that when they're glaring at the Hag and doing mind speech, but I still do find it unfair that Atheon cannot get drunk anymore. That's kind of an asshole move.
Forced rehab.
So, what would your character's major in college be?
So, I mean, with Lily, with Atheon essentially being Lily, and Atheon not knowing anything, it would probably be a doctor, just being a cleric. With Atheon, because I don't know a lot of the backstory yet. I know some of the stuff, but I don't know everything, so I can't really answer on Atheon.
Okay.
Belvis would be physical education.
Definitely wouldn't be in law school.
No, God, no.
If he tried, he failed.
Badly.
Legally blonde over here.
You know?
Legally Belvis. That's what we should have called the episode.
Legally Belvis.
Oh God.
I would be okay with it. I would have been okay with it. Put in parentheses. Legally Belvis.
Legally Belvis.
Oh God.
Anybody else?
Willow wouldn't have went to college. She would have ran off to join the circus.
Clown college.
Yeah.
Clown college. The only major I could see her doing is either music or art.
Well, I mean, technically, you did go to college. You're a bard.
Yeah.
College of Eloquence.
Yeah.
Right? I believe you're College of Eloquence bard.
Oh, I believe so.
I know everybody's subclasses now because of writing those character sheet things.
Yeah.
Van would probably be alchemy or chemistry or something like that. You know, he likes the whole poison thing and chemical thing and what can help him do his job more effectively. You know, so he's always looking for what can I add to this and that. So that would probably fill along.
I will tell you, Syl would go to school for agriculture.
Really?
Syl
Wow.
is a southern elf. He likes horses, and you guys really haven't dug into Syl that much.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten much
even when he was with the party, you guys didn't really dig into Syl. He was pretty mysterious, but he likes horses and farming and all that kind of stuff, so he would go to school for agriculture. He's a southern boy.
Oh God, that is Bakira's biggest flaw. She really doesn't ask anybody anything.
No.
Well,
I think the closest Bakira
She really doesn't.
asked
And she's supposed to be the leader of this group, and she doesn't ask them anything.
I think the closest you have
Busy drinking.
asked is Atheon. I think the closest you've asked was Atheon.
I think the
Before this.
person you've asked the most of is the bartender.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Drink and what you know.
And does this drink come in a bigger size?
I would say, so Maresh, what do you guys think Maresh would go to college for?
I feel like he'd be a wrestler.
Politics.
ballet.
Ballet? I honestly think like physical education or something like that.
Farming or
Maresh-
agriculture.
Maresh would actually major in art.
Yeah.
Maresh is an artist.
Oh.
If I were to give Maresh take away some of his levels of barbarian and put a second in there, it would be a bard. He would be a barbarian.
Bard.
That's literally a thing.
It literally is a thing. Barbarian, like Willow is a bardlock.
Yep.
Yeah. So barbarians are a thing. Because think about it like this: when you're not raging, like somebody shoots counterspell, or somebody shoots a spell that you don't like, you can counterspell it, and then they get all mad. So naturally, the bad guy focuses on you. So you just run towards them, and as you get close enough, you just say, "I like to rage."
Yep.
How creepy is that?
Barbarians.
When you've got a bard
insane.
that just counterspelled your spell,
technically,
and then all of a sudden it just rages out towards you as he's full on sprinting.
And technically, Bakira is considered a bloodlock.
What's funny is I actually almost did Barbarian for Willow until I realized, no, she's a fairy. She wouldn't have any stats to put into it.
Honestly, it would be funny. It would be hilarious.
I wanted to make her start losing her marbles.
She's
and be
like,
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
I would like to rage.
Honestly, it would make you not
equivalent
squishy.
of like the fairies from Onward, like getting on your like little motorbikes.
You guys are gonna love my season 2 character. You're gonna see it coming.
To be revealed.
Yeah.
You are gonna love my season 2 character too.
So,
it's hilarious.
What is something? What is something that has yet to reveal itself that you're hoping is revealed in this by the end of the campaign?
Who Atheon's father is. Even though I know it's most likely going to be revealed soon, that's the one thing. I want to see everybody's faces when Atheon's father is revealed.
I don't know if I'm going to reveal Atheon's father.
You should totally reveal Atheon's father. I want to see the people's faces.
I know I'm going to reveal Korth's father soon.
Come on, you have to reveal Atheon's father. We've spent so much time talking about it. You have to reveal it. It would be hilarious.
Oh, I have a question for after this one. I don't remember if you've answered it before.
Anybody else? Something that you would like to see revealed that hasn't been revealed yet?
Willie wants to know what really happened at the carnival. If it was actually those sprites.
For me, it's Korth. Just trying to figure him out the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's not going to be revealed until the end.
Yeah, that's just he's in, he's out, he's with, he's without, that whole thing. So it's definitely a good string going.
I will say we've definitely been nodding to Critical Role a lot this today, but I will say that Ethan is definitely my Taliesin. So in Critical Role, if you guys have watched Critical Role, Matt uses Taliesin as a guinea pig. Percy was a subclass of a fighter that was brought over from Pathfinder. Mollymock was a big one that he messed with. And then
I think
Ashton is a Horde subclass. So
I think the only one only one that Taliesin was not a guinea pig in was Caduceus. I think was the only one, but because Percy was the new subclass, the gunslinger class, and then Molly was the original blood hunter.
Yeah,
and
Molly was the original. If Mollymock did not exist, Bakira, you would not have a subclass. You would not have a blood hunter as a class because Mollymock was the first blood hunter.
So I could tell you this.
I absolutely love being a blood hunter. I love it.
Being a Minotaur, barbarian was the only original thing I brought to the table. Argos being a Minotaur barbarian was the only original thing I bringing to the table. Caleb would be like, "Hey Ethan, what about this?" And he'd throw something out there. I'm like, "Ooh, let's play with it." "Hey Ethan, what about this?" "Ooh, I want to play with it." Pretty much it hasn't been hard to be Caleb's guinea pig because it's like Tree, that was mainly trying to see if that was a Caleb original. I wanted to try out Druid. But tree, yeah, because I was going like I want to name something that has to do with nature. And he's like, what about tree?
I don't even
I was
remember
like-
what it stands for.
I don't even remember either. But like technological, like
Yeah, it stood-
environmental.
It
Something.
stood for something. Tree stood for something.
But yeah, so I will say the one thing I'm most anxious about for the surprise of it all, honestly, is the whole thing of like how hard will Van now with like the new direction, because like he had the goal of trying to kill Bakira and like ultimately decided not to go with it, but like how hard he'll look for like Dorian, like how like will he go to the ends of the earth, or will it just happen to be like like if he sees Dorian again, is he just going to be like, this is my one shot, I'm going to take it, or if it's going to be like a future down the line type of thing. I'm most anxious to see how that unfolds.
Honestly,
I'll-
even with
I'll-
me, it was the Star Spawn. Caleb came, found it, and it's like, oh, what if you do this? And then my new subclass, which you guys have seen, the party, I don't remember if we told you, is Wild Magic Warlock.
I knew your wild magic. I was the one that did the wild magic barbarian. So
Yeah.
when you're like, every time you did something, I was like, you're wild magicking something. Like I could tell what it was. I just didn't know how it was being triggered.
Yeah,
So,
it
but I
was.
recognized wild magic immediately.
So it's every time my character casts a spell or a cantrip, I have to.
No, it's every spell that uses a spell slot, and anytime you cast Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
What's up,
And
Bakira?
for every blast of Eldritch Blast, it's one roll.
Yeah, so I have to roll 4 times for Eldritch Blast. What's up, Bakira?
So I haven't thought about Dorian. I don't think that was the real Dorian. Well, Bakira specifically doesn't think that was the real Dorian because from what she remembers of Dorian and from what her past with him is, there's no way he would willingly give up Phenom. None whatsoever. So she actually questions if that was the real Dorian in the trial.
Okay. What? Who had a question? Willow?
Oh, I don't remember if we answered or not, but I wanted to know what everybody thinks their class would be if they were directly put in. I know you personally.
I
Dan
have
personally said
actually have built one for everybody if you guys would like to hear them.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is
So
actually
interested in that.
I am planning on us doing a one shot where it is you guys actually thrown into D&D. So I have you guys will all be human.
I know I'm a mad. I remember this. I think I'm a mad scientist type thing.
So you guys will all be human. Level 16. You guys will have classes already made for you. Aaron, human, Oath of the Watchers Paladin.
I could see that. Sure.
Really? Okay. I mean, I was.
So-
I guess I'm used to Aaron being Van as a rogue, and how much like that. I'm just like, it's kind of hard for me to be like paladin.
So
I don't know.
I base this off of you guys in real life. My dad spent 20 years as a cop. So a Oath of the Watchers Paladin is as close to a cop in D&D as you can get. Ben. Way of the Drunken Master Monk.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
A
Yes.
nod connects.
I can actually
Yeah.
see that.
Yes.
Just because of like your personality, you're very
So,
calm and relaxed until you get pissed off, and then you're
to
like,
be honest, though, I really base this off of Nex.
yes.
Chris.
Oh boy.
Swarmkeeper Ranger.
Interesting take. But yes, I
also
agree.
make pets, and I love animals.
Elliot. Shadow Magic Sorcerer.
Ooh.
Ethan. Samurai Fighter.
Yep.
Genie. Inquisitive Rogue.
He's like, "Nope."
Pam. Alchemist Artificer.
Yep.
Nope.
You're basing that off Allie, aren't you?
Love putting things together.
Yeah, you're basing that off of Allie as well, aren't you?
How accurate was I?
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
You're right.
Actually, literally check out the character I sent you.
Okay.
But funny enough, though, I'm like 2 steps above the teetotaler. I barely drink.
So, Triple Dub asked what you guys ever do a Battle Royale one shot. So, we thought we've actually discussed this before. We actually want to. We want to bring in somebody to DM it. And we want to, because obviously we have Misery's End, and we also have Scarlet Brigade that we do. So I would like to do a Battle Royale one-shot, pinning members of the Scarlet Brigade up against members of Misery's End. So I'm probably going to reach out to some DMs that I know and see if somebody can DM it for us, and we will do a Battle Royale one-shot, because I would like to be in it playing Maresh.
I would probably play Urshar just because.
So what we would do is it would basically be 4 from each group against each other, and so I would pick the 4 from each group, and we would do a Battle Royale one shot. So that may be coming next year. Maybe it will come in between campaign 1 and 2. So when campaign 1 ends next year, we're going to take a little break before we get into campaign 2. So maybe that Battle Royale one shot will come in between campaign 1 and 2. So stay tuned for that. I think it'll be really fun. I've got some friends that are dungeon masters that could DM it for us and do it pretty cool. Which one of you guys, does anybody else have any questions for me as a DM, your other players, other characters? Chris?
Are you still trying to kill some of us off, or do you like the party as it is?
So I never intentionally kill people off. I will say that right now. I never intentionally kill people off. Do I roll really well? Yes. It just comes down to it. Have I fudge rolls? Have I fudge rolls to save people? Yes.
Yes.
There was one, but we did it for the storyline.
Yes. So I did intentionally kill off one player for the storyline, and that was Yalthrone. I killed y'all off for the storyline, and it was already agreed upon. So that one I purposely killed off. I like the party. I think it's a good party. Do I think you guys are balanced enough to take Zophos on? No. I think you have a lack of healers to be able to take Zophos on. Chris isn't a strong enough healer. So I will say, if somebody doesn't take a subclass in something, which you guys really don't have the opportunity to take subclasses anymore, you guys should probably stock up on magic items and potions before, if Zophos does pop out, if you guys fail everything. I'm not saying Zophos is going to come no matter what, but if you guys fail stuff, Zophos will pop up.
Yeah, this might be something where we just completely lose and there's a whole new world.
It could be, and
It'll
change
Disney place we never knew.
the entire. I will have to rewrite all of campaign 2.
And he will hate us.
Well, Caleb, we do have that one thing that possibly will help if it comes down to it.
Yes.
Yeah,
that will
So-
be revealed.
It will be revealed.
My favorite magic item I have created. Actually, let me look at my homebrews that I made. I've made a lot. You can ask the party. I've made a lot
Yes.
of
Yeah.
oh, let's see. Actually,
I don't
most
know
of the
the
magic
captain's
items, most of the magic items that they carry, I have created myself.
The Ogre Dagger.
The Dagger of the Ogre Mage is a good one.
That's right.
Yeah, Captain's Pride's good. I like the chain
My
double
gloves.
gloves.
I
I like the
love
chain.
those.
I like the chain double gloves. There is actually some stuff you guys never got. There is one that you guys have not gotten yet. You did not look in that shop that is in the chest. You did not look at that close enough. There is a magic item called Death's Shadow.
Well, didn't we say that we're gonna go to that shop?
I'm going back for it then.
Yeah, is that the one that I need to get my outfit from? Because I still need
No,
to get
that's
Yes,
the artificer.
No, that's the
The
artificer. This is different. This is
Well,
that shop
this is-
that is
Yeah.
in that
What
chest that you walk out.
Pam needs to go to.
Yeah.
So
I
Death's
don't remember
Shadow.
for what.
Death's Shadow is a black garnet amulet carved into the shape of a bird's skull and is adorned with several dark feathers. At its center is a single phoenix feather that serves as a catalyst for the strange talisman's necrotic magic. While wearing this amulet, you are immune to necrotic damage. You also have shadow form. When you are reduced to 0 hit points while wearing this amulet, a shadowy version of yourself rises from your unconscious body. You control this form, which has your equipment and statistics. It has 100 temporary hit points and resistance to all damage that is at force, psychic, or radiant. The shadow form can't move more than 60 feet from your body. The shadow vanishes after 1 minute or when it falls to 0 temporary hit points. The shadow survives for the duration. It returns to your body and causes you to regain a number of hit points equal to the shadow's remaining number of temporary hit points. The shadow is defeated, the amulet is destroyed, and you immediately fail 2 death saving throws.
I actually have that.
While your shadow... Did you get it?
Yeah,
While
I
you-
actually have that. I just haven't used it because I'm saving it for the big battle. Death's Shadow, right? I got that a while ago. I just haven't used it because I've been saving it.
So that's a good one.
Especially since you're squishy.
Yeah.
I wanted to save it for the big battle.
I have created something called the Eldritch Claw, which it's a wolf claw that gives the user the Eldritch Blast cantrip.
I already have it.
Okay, Bakira.
Well, she's a wolf and she has Eldritch Blast. We need to give it to someone else.
Need to,
Give it to Van.
I could be a caster then.
I also created a forecaster's cloak. Worn fur-lined cloak creates illusory representations of the impending weather. While wearing this cloak, you can use an action to open it and speak its command word to create a harmless sensory effect within the cloak that represents what the weather will be at your location for the next 8 hours. Gauntlets of Eldritch Ferocity. Gauntlets of Troll Power, which Maresh has those. They are, and I will admit that I actually took these from Critical Role. These are what Grog uses to make himself bigger when he smashes his fists together and he grows.
Oh, the one that you got from Kevdot.
Yeah. I have created the Ghostly Gossamer. This one's actually kind of funny. It's a long cape made of white fabric that resembles a bed sheet. Once per day, by spending an action to throw the Gossamer over your head, you can cause yourself to fall under the effects of the etherealness spell. Basically turns you into a ghost. The Gossamer has 2 punctured holes that perfectly fit the eyes of the wearer. So it's basically like those old school ghosts things that you did with the bed sheet.
You need to create.
Give the
void.
The troll gauntlets to Willow.
Just grows 2 inches taller.
Let's see, I have created the Helm of the Platinum Dragon. I won't reveal what that does yet. The Horn of the Wild Hunt, that's probably something one of you guys want to try and get.
Did you create Atheon's little suit?
Atheon's suit?
The one that, the hero suit.
No, I'm going to be creating the flower soon.
Yeah.
Why do I have to go back? Does anybody remember why I have to go back to the suitcase?
I do.
Why? I forgot. I just know I have to go.
I will say probably the best one I have is what Van uses, and that's the Reap and Sow. That's
I love that thing, man.
That is something that I created that is a fucking beast. I've created, and actually this would be really good for Korth, is the Sash of Sorceress Synergy. It allows you to use meta magic, Korth.
But I already can.
But it adds extra equal to your sorcery points.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a lot of meta magic I can use.
Yeah. I have also homebrewed Power Rangers. I think we may do a Power Ranger
Power
one-shot
Ranger?
at some point.
That would be awesome.
They're actually subclassed under Warlock.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one? What subclass then? Would it
It's
be?
called the
As you said that,
it's a
I
new
kid
one.
you not,
It's called the
a
Sentai.
thing came on here, and it has Go-Go Power Rangers on my phone.
Here are some other boots that would be good for some people. The shifting boots of the Maverick. Somebody that wears them has a +1 bonus to any skill check involving gambling or games of chance.
Maybe I should use that to maybe not the void.
Yeah.
That would have been Arga. That would have been Argaz, not Korth.
One that you guys have not got, which I'm kind of upset about, is the Singing Stein. I created a Singing Stein. It's a pewter stein that holds at least a sip's worth of potable alcohol. When it does that, the face adorning it comes alive to sing songs based on the kind of drink. The stein is not sentient, but does have a pleasant singing voice. Ben definitely will not voice this.
No, God, no.
Wow,
Please, no.
Thank you.
Please,
There
no.
are
Save my
multiple
ears.
steins. If there's multiple of these steins in the same room, they sing in harmony if they have the same drinks with them. If the drink is poison, it sings out of key. So you would know that it's poisoned by it singing out of key, which can be heard using a perception check.
But Kira needs that.
If there are multiple kinds of alcohol within it, the stein either alternates between song types or does its best to combine their various lyrics. So if it's got wine in it, it's a ballad. If it has rum in it, it's a sea shanty. And if it has ale in it, it's a drinking song. So that's a fun one that I've made.
The Kira kind of needs that apparently.
I've got a lot of homebrews that you guys have never messed with. There's a lot of this one needs to. We need to give this to Belvis.
What?
It's the Warriors onesie. It's long johns. It's long johns. That once you wear them, it allows a wearer to sleep comfortably no matter the weight they are donned with. So in full plate armor, you can sleep comfortably. And it also smells of lavender.
Trying to say something?
Which
So I've got
the benefactor.
So I've got I have a ton of homebrew stuff that I've created. But I think the Reap and Sow is probably my favorite that I've done. Questions. Nobody has any questions.
I've got questions.
What's up?
But I don't want to like just blurt out a whole bunch of them at once.
What's up?
This one is actually for Willow.
Yes.
As when you originally created Willow, was your original design to go with a bard, or were you? I know you wanted barbarian, like kind of thinking us first, but like, did you fall back on bard, or were you like more inclined to like a different class, and ultimately you thought the best thing for Willow was to be a bard?
I was tied between sorcerer and bard, but I knew that bard brought something to the table that was really hard to compensate for without having the bard. And I didn't get to play Sappy for very long, so I never keep it.
Sorry, okay?
So let me ask you guys this. For those that didn't help make your characters, when you guys created these characters, did you choose the race first, then the class? Or did you have a class in mind and then you chose a race?
I chose my race first.
Race first.
Race first.
Class first. Ever since WoW, I've always done class first and then chose the race based off of my class.
I did class and then chose my race. Like if I knew I was going to play Druid ahead of time, like if I already, like in my head, I was like, I'm thinking Druid, but then either I would pick a race that would help boost up a Druid, or I would intentionally roll a character that is an opposite of a Druid to boost up the other stats that I would otherwise pump into a Druid. So like a Tiefling is more built for like a Bard or a Sorcerer because of their high Charisma bonus, but you throw that on top of a you throw that on a Druid, and they bump up the stats that they currently lack in, which is Charisma and Intelligence, and you bump up their other stats while you can pump up your higher rolls into Wisdom and Constitution, or whatever you decide you think is the best for a Druid.
I usually like to compare them, but when I made Willow, I definitely chose race first.
So, Triple Dub said, what method do you guys use to roll for stats? So we use D&D Beyond. Not a sponsor, but D&D Beyond you can be if you want to. Reach out to me. Caleb.freeman@dungeonsandmagi.com. So we use D&D Beyond to roll the stats, but if we are rolling like for one-shot stuff like that, we do rolling 4d6, drop the lowest number. Is typically how we roll it. It's the classic way of rolling. Really, you can do a 3d6 and just leave it at that, but I think doing the 4d6, dropping the lowest number, that gives the best chances of a wide variety of stats. So that's typically how we roll.
Or you're like me and roll 18 for everything.
Well, and and I've played in a variety of games, and that's typically how most campaigns do it. However, I was in a campaign that I thought was a little off. You roll for your stats, but if you had two numbers lower than a 15, you had to re-roll everything.
No, so we do
anything lower than a 10.
Anything lower than an 8.
Oh, an 8. Okay.
Anything a 7 or lower, you re-roll. And typically how I do it is I give you 3 sets to roll. So you roll your sets of 46, then drop any of your 8s, re-roll. Boom. Another set, and then I allow you to pick one of those 3 sets to go from.
Okay.
Some people, their first rolls are shitty. Some people can't roll on that first one. They need kind of a warm-up roll. So I give you 3 of them, and then you can't pick and choose between all 3. You've got to choose. So we don't roll for hit points since D&D Beyond does it already. So D&D Beyond, as we level up, it already does the hit points for us. But yes, typically I do let people re-roll a 1 on hit points leveling up. One of the other things I do that, I mean, we saw it in the last campaign, is something I'm rolling, or in the last session, which is something I'm rolling out, is for cinematic death. So I got this idea from somewhere, I don't remember where, but I liked it and I wanted to expand on it. And basically the way it works is you go down. You then have a choice. You can take your 3 chances to roll your death saving throws. So doing it the way I'm doing it gives people that are shitty at death saving throws a chance to do something before they die, basically. Because there's a lot of people that are shitty at death saving throws. I know Willow is.
I know it's pressure.
But
I just suck at rolling in general, so...
Basically, what we do is you can either choose to roll your death saving throws and it'll be left at that, or you can choose to negate all 3 of your rolls, spend one last action, one last epic action that will automatically hit, it'll automatically succeed whatever it is, besides healing. You can't heal yourself, you can't take a potion, something like that. But you want to tackle somebody off of a wall. You want to do one last spell that makes a spell that you have that makes you explode and do damage around people. Whatever. So one last epic thing that is your last fuck you to the world as you die. You can choose to negate all of your saving throws, but you will never be able to be revived.
Unless you have a chromatic check.
Yeah.
Well, you got saved from that, but yes, you will never be able to be revived. As soon as you die, your body would basically disintegrate because you have used all your energy to do this one last epic action. So that's something we just started rolling out. I think we saw a hint of it with Sobek. It didn't really get down to it because I didn't think cinematically it was the best bet at the time.
Wrong headset.
It may work in a future time, but I think cinematically revealing the chromatic dragon worked better. That's another thing I do. If a character's going to die and I don't think it works best for the storyline, I will fudge rolls. I've done it 4 times for Bakira. I cannot have Bakira die. Bakira is a big part of the story. And
Beyond me, why?
so I fudge rolls. I mean, every DM fudges rolls. If they tell you they don't fudge rolls, they're a liar. So whether it's for good or bad, the whole thing with D&D is, yes, we're playing a game. It's a game of chance. It's a game of dice. But especially when you get to the place that we're at, where we're live streaming it and people are watching, we're here to tell a story. So at the end of the day, is this action going to kill the cinematics of the story? Is it going to ruin the story? To be honest, if Bakira died, I feel like the campaign would just end. Because Bakira is such an integral part of Misery's End, being the original character, the original remaining member, that if they died, I feel like in the game, I feel like the whole Misery's End would fall apart without Bakira.
Yeah.
Bakira is
no
the
one the
glue that
character
holds.
would follow.
They're
Bakira.
the glue that holds Misery's End together. So I feel like if Bakira did die, everybody would just kind of go their separate ways and do their own thing. Which is one of the reasons that I fudged the rolls for Bakira because the campaign would end. We had one where it was about to be a TPK. Literally everybody died but Bakira. And technically Bakira was supposed to die, but I fudged the rolls, so we didn't have to quit the campaign. And that was before we started streaming. But,
yeah, that was a horrifying fight.
Yeah. So
that was the week after. That was the week after I actually joined up because I messaged Caleb. And he's like, "Dude, you couldn't have asked for a better time to come in because I literally just almost TPK'd everyone."
Yeah. So
I'm glad my character died then.
Again, this is a movie. It's a TV show that everybody tunes in every week. It's a 3-4 hour TV show that you watch once a week. So there are people like Triple Dub, who is our number one fan, which Triple Dub, after this session is over, go ahead and send us a message on Twitch. We're going to get something sent out to you for being somebody that is loyal and is here every single session from beginning to end. We're going to go ahead and get you a set of custom dice. So Raven's Nest agreed to make you a custom set of dice for being here with us since the beginning. So reach out to us on any of the social medias and we'll answer you. But you have been with us since the beginning and you don't ever leave our sessions until the end. But yeah, so people tune in to watch us for 4 hours and we want to give them something that they're going to remember and go, oh shit, this was fucking amazing. I need to watch next week on what's going to happen. That's why I always try and do cliffhangers at the end. It's not just because I like to keep you guys guessing, but I want to keep the viewers guessing too, like ending this session with, now for the next set of trials. That is like, oh shit, what's the hag got next? And actually we were talking about this playing Phasmophobia the other night.
You mean when you were creeping us out doing the hag voice?
Yes, I was doing the hag voice. And
good thing I wasn't in that stream.
I noticed that my hag voice, I pull a lot from Mark Hamill's Joker with my hag voice.
My least favorite Batman character.
Next time.
Batman, why so serious?
Imagine, okay, I just want to picture this, Caleb. Next time we play Phasmophobia, okay, you do the hag. Just imagine. You dead in the first 5 minutes because I have a survival rate. I've been keeping track of my stats. It's at an all-time high of 3.8%. I survived matches. The rest of the time I died. I even wrote a guide on how to survive Phasmophobia.
Caleb, your creepiest thing when we are playing Phasmo is your Elmo voice.
Yo, wait, I can do it.
You did not get picked up.
I noticed I didn't get picked up with my Elmo voice. It never does.
What you do?
La 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 la. Elmo's world. Yeah.
That is like the creepiest one you guys are getting.
Elmo tonight.
Yeah.
Especially when we're just about to get hunted. And you pull that shit.
Oh, I was doing the hag voice in Phasmo.
Yeah, it was creeping me out and aggroing the ghost.
Yeah, thankfully I wasn't watching that one because I would have been even more creeped out.
I got one voice that I do that creeps the hell out of Pam.
Don't you fucking dare.
Well, we hear your normal voice every day.
Fuck you. Sorry, don't demonetize me. No, you know which one it is.
Please don't.
Does anybody have any last minute questions?
I don't think
Last?
man, I just can't figure out how to word it. Go ahead, Corporal. I figure out how to
Speak.
Well, I was just gonna ask, is it Sunday yet?
Is it time to roll the damn dice?
I wish it was. But no, honestly, I hope you guys are looking or like wanting to look forward to this one shot that I have planned for Sunday. I think you guys will have a lot of fun with it.
We're doing Scarlet Brigade, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so with that, I will again remind everybody watching that this Sunday I will not be here. I will be at a concert for my fiance's birthday. So the normal campaign is postponed a week. It is going to be a one-shot DM'd by Ethan. It will be the Scarlet Brigade. So if you've not seen the Scarlet Brigade, if you would like to recap on what happened with the Scarlet Brigade, if you go back to our YouTube, you can see some of the first video we posted is the Scarlet Brigade. So take a look at that. You can see kind of what's happened. Ethan will recap it at the beginning.
You get to see me play a drunk dwarf barbarian.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say this right now. The inmates will be burning the asylum.
Yeah.
So
Pantheon, you're probably going to be the most, like, besides a few of you have already pitched character concepts, but if that's what you're really going to run with, this would probably be one of the most hilarious and craziest things. Like, our fans got a really cool idea, and I think it'll run really well. But
my character's always been a drunk dwarf barbarian.
Did you see mine?
Not yet, no.
But
I can just see yours now, Elliot.
Tune in to that on Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Time doesn't change, just story will. We will pick back up the next Sunday with the Misery's End, with somebody's trials. Still not sure who, more than likely Belvis, but it depends on what comes to me throughout this week. And there's going to be a big reveal next Sunday. A big reveal from somebody's past. So, I won't tell who, but somebody is going to have a blast from the past.
Uh-oh.
So, please tune into that. I want to thank everybody, of course, all of my cast, for coming here for Behind the Curtain. We enjoy this. Time to just kind of sit back and decompress and talk about all the shit that's going on and have it be a little informal. And again, we typically don't mention the sponsors on Behind the Curtain because it's, again, very informal, but we would like to thank all of our sponsors. If you'd like to check them out, please visit our website. You can check them out there. I will say we have stopped doing podcasts. Our podcast downloads seem to not be as high as our views live. So for the time being, we have decided to stop uploading podcasts until we see an interest in podcasts spike. We will be discussing rolling out Patreon levels. We are looking at rolling out Patreon, where you can subscribe to us on Patreon. Different tiers will come with different things. I do know right now the first tier, the $4.99 tier, the $5 tier, will get you access to a fan Discord, where you can get in Discord and chat with us and ask questions and see our sponsors and things like that. So that's one thing that you can do. That's for $5 a month, you get access to the Discord. Then there's going to be multiple tiers that are going to be rolling out different things as we progress. I believe one of the tiers will you will get early access to recorded shows. You will also get premiere access to recorded shows that have not been released, such as Argos's Arduous Adventure, that reveals some endgame stuff. So when we roll out Patreon, you can look at that. We are going to be doing a bunch of pre-recorded one-shots that will be released specific for Patreon, for patrons. And then I believe our top tier is going to be allowing people, which I believe is a $15 tier, once per month you will be entered into winning a set of custom dice, and also entered into a contest to either play in a guest spot in our main campaign or a one-shot, or DM a one-shot if you would like. So we will reveal when the Patreon is up and going once we have discussed all of the terms. So please keep an eye out for that on all our social medias. Again, www.dungeonsandmagi.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which we don't really use, TikTok, of course, Twitch and YouTube. Check us out there. So yeah, we appreciate everybody. We thank you to those that stick with us and have gotten us this far. We cannot wait to see where we go from here. We are excited. I have a surprise for the party coming in September.
Yep.
A very big surprise for the party coming in September. So stick around for that. And please join us next time as we close the books, set aside the dice, and pull back the curtains. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.